Before I begin, I would like to say that this is a vertical slice of the game and should give an impression of the final product. Now, because this build is several weeks old, the things pointed out in this early impressions video could change in the final release or the second demo. I will begin with the ugly, starting with the server issues. We already talked about the reasons, and BioWare gave those reasons you saw in a different video. But as a consumer who wanted to feel important, VIP, I didn't feel that way. The fact that it took me about an hour to get into the game felt a little bit disrespectful. The rubber banding that occurred twice for me was quite unacceptable. I didn't like the fact that the VIP codes were also given out apart from the friend codes. Everything should have been multiplied by 4, which is just the main people who pre-ordered and their 3 friends. But we also had devs and media outlets giving out hundreds of codes, and that also added to the issues. I did not like the fact that people were also able to buy VIP codes for things like $5 and all from other stores. Now that may make me look like an elitist or something like that, but that is just how I felt at that very moment when I couldn't get into the game. And once I logged in, the 95% loading screen was just terrible. I almost punched the screen. I had moments when I was about to finish certain missions and it just kicks me out to the loading screen, and then the struggle begins all over again. To me as a consumer, I felt like that could have been made less worse, but then I've experienced worse in other games. Still, if I am paying $59.99 or anything more than that, I expected more for my money. Now, apart from the technical aspects of the game is the most gorgeous I've ever seen in most looter shooters. As a fan of the genre, I really loved what I saw and what I experienced other than the technical difficulties or the aspects of it. In terms of enemy variations and encounters, some people said that it was too repetitive, and my response to those people is that if you say it is too repetitive, then you probably haven't played any looter shooter before or any looter game. This game is amazing. The enemy AI is amazing and is excellent in the way it responds. These are some of the things that people complain about in other games, and I'm glad that the enemies were not too aggressive in free roam, at least when you're playing on certain difficulties, because if enemies were too aggressive in free roam, it will take away from the exploration aspect of the game. I will say that I appreciate the fact that we have enough of that space to work with in the demo. Encounters were well explained if you have played any game ever, or if you listen to the AI or read the subtitles. The one struggle that we had a chance to play gave some people a hard time when it comes to the water. Granted, the water controls were weird and out of place, but the game kept telling players to pop flares before jumping into the water so you can see where you're going. But that point dies down to player ignorance, and that is what I've experienced over the past few days. In terms of customization, this game hit a home run. You can choose textures, colors, gradients, vinyls, animations, basically the whole thing you want in any terms of customization, and you can even choose separate armor pieces for the heads, arms, chest, and legs. You don't have to pay for color palettes as we do in some other games. You don't have to pay for shaders as we do in some other games. The modding and progression system was amazing. There are so many builds that you can create that suit your playstyle, and it doesn't hinder your experience. The importance of combo builds were also emphasized, and it made this a unique game in its own lane. The game actually fixed some of the issues players had with other games, but people keep complaining about it. It fixed the problems that we had with scalable rewards in other games, which is a highly desired thing in any looter shooter game. Compared to the old demo of the game in 2016, 2017, or 2018 E3, the world will unfold as you play the game. If all those things that we saw at the E3 trailer was added in here, most of us will not be able to run the game. There are several forts in the game that we don't have access to yet, and we will be seeing those at launch and post-launch. The mobility in the flight is spectacular, and I felt like Iron Man from the very beginning to the very end. Using different javelins opens your eyes to the beauty of this world, the dynamic transition from water to air, being able to float and challenge enemies. These things, including your javelin, curates your experience in this world. And while this game doesn't hold your hand on everything, the demo gives a clear instruction on what to do and step-by-step instructions as well. In terms of performance, I had no issue with the game on my end. The game ran smoothly on night cycle, day cycles, and even in heavy encounters. Of course, I did notice like 5 frame rate drops from 60 to 55, but that was okay with me. Remember that this is a highly demanding game, so you will not be getting CSGO FPS numbers or Fortnite FPS numbers in this game. Heck, even Warframe is graphically demanding, and as someone who has played Warframe, that game is a little bit taxing, but it's still well optimized. Games are just looking better by the moment, and this is going to get to that point where we as gamers will have to upgrade our rig from time to time. But the devs also said that the full game will be well optimized than what we saw in the demo. What was intriguing about the whole thing is that people are criticizing a game based on a demo, and most of the people complaining are the ones who got in for free. Let's be real with ourselves. Majority of the hater channels say that they will never buy an EA game ever again, but a lot of them ended up playing the demo. The only way that I believe that you could get in is if you pre-ordered the demo or got a free code or bought a demo pass. So which means either way, you still gave EA your money, you gave somebody your money, or you're just a fan of the game as the rest of us. A message to everyone is that don't be too attracted to negativity. A lot of these creators know that negativity sells on YouTube and they will prey on your emotions. I also believe that gamers have become addicted to the free-to-play models, that they want every single thing in this world to be free. I'm sorry, but everything costs a certain amount of money. This is going to be a great year for gamers, and all that matters is that we are gamers at heart. Let us go back to the days where majority of us and majority of the people on YouTube actually enjoyed playing game and watching gameplays instead of focusing on the negativity or the negative channels. Because let's be honest, majority of these negative channels don't even review games anymore or give guides or show players what to do in certain games. All they do now is follow the hate train. In the end, I hope that the open demo is more polished and all the issues we had in the VIP has been resolved before the new wave of people come in. Hope you find it informative and hope you find it entertaining as well. Thanks once again. I'll see you on the next one.